14 hidden signs of gaslighting your partner doesn't want you to recognize. Doubting your own memory or feelings lately? It might not be you. It might be gaslighting. Join us today as we lift the veil on these covert tactics. Knowledge is your armor, so let's suit up. 1. Denying the denial. It sounds almost paradoxical, doesn't it? This is where someone blatantly does or says something, and then, when confronted, denies it ever happened. It's the conversational equivalent of a magic trick. Now you see it, now you don't. Imagine you're watching a movie and there's a clear scene with a character wearing a red hat, but then someone next to you insists fervently that the hat was blue. Even when you rewind it, they keep insisting. Over time, you might even start questioning your own memory. Guys, this is a classic tactic. By consistently denying their own words or actions, the gaslighter aims to destabilize your trust in your perceptions. Remember this. It's not about the hat. It's about power and control. 2. Trivializing feelings. This one's subtle, but so damaging. It's when your emotions, reactions, or feelings are belittled or dismissed. Have you ever poured your heart out, sharing something that deeply affects you, only to be met with a, "Why are you making such a big deal out of it?" or "You're too sensitive"? Your partner's words diminish your emotions, labelling them as unreasonable and unworthy of consideration. They use subtle manipulation to push you into a corner of self-doubt, leaving you to wonder whether you are overreacting or whether your emotions are actually as genuine and important as you thought. Please remember, your feelings are valid, full stop. No one else gets to dictate how you feel, and being attuned to your emotions is a strength, not a weakness. 3. Selective amnesia. Ever been met with a blank stare or a nonchalant, "I don't remember that," when talking about something important? That's selective amnesia at play. Your partner chooses to forget, to avoid responsibility, or to control the narrative. While everybody genuinely forgets things from time to time, consistent selective amnesia, especially about important matters, is a red flag. 4. Withholding information. This is when someone deliberately keeps you in the dark, making decisions or having conversations without your knowledge. Ever had that sinking feeling that you're not getting the full story? That's this tactic in action. A relationship is a partnership, and both parties should be in the loop. If you feel like you're constantly playing catch up or are out of the loop, it's a sign you might be dealing with withholding. 5. Projecting blame. This is a doozy. It's when someone does something wrong, but then flips the script and makes it seem like it's your fault. They're essentially taking their baggage and dumping it at your doorstep. Of course, everyone makes mistakes, but taking responsibility for those mistakes is what is important. If someone's consistently pointing fingers everywhere but at themselves, it's a sign they're projecting blame. 6. Creating doubt. This strategy is all about instilling uncertainty in your mind, making you second-guess yourself. Ever been so sure about something, only to have someone drop subtle hints or questions that make you question your own judgment? The gaslighter's skill lies in their ability to subtly undermine your reality over time and cast doubt on everything you think, feel, and see. They leave you feeling uneasy and like you're standing on shaky ground. 7. Twisting the truth. This one's particularly sneaky. It's not an outright lie, but rather a distortion of facts, bending them just enough to suit their narrative. Ever been in a situation where you know the reality, but the way they're recounting it leaves you feeling dizzy? That may be because they're twisting the truth. With each rejection, they undermine your confidence in your judgment, leading you to wonder if your worries are legitimate. This tactic becomes a destructive force that erodes your self-esteem and makes you susceptible to their control. 8. Turning others against you. By painting a skewed picture of you to your friends, family, or colleagues, the gaslighter isolates you, ensuring they become the primary influencer in your life. Always be alert, guys. If you start feeling isolated or sense that others are viewing you differently without a clear reason, you might be facing this tactic. Remember, it's essential to keep open lines of communication with your close ones. Trust in the bonds you've built, and don't let one person's narrative define your relationships. 9. Shifting goalposts. Ever felt like no matter how hard you try, the finish line keeps moving further away? It's like preparing for a 5k run, and just when you're about to hit the mark, you're told it's actually a 10k. Frustrating, isn't it? Gaslighters often move the goalposts, setting you up to never meet their expectations. This keeps you in a perpetual state of trying and feeling inadequate. In a healthy relationship, the expectations should be clear and consistent. If you're always left feeling like you're chasing a moving target, take a moment to reflect. Are these shifting standards genuine, or is someone playing games with your efforts? 10. Gaslighting by proxy. Now, this one's a bit more covert. It's when the gaslighter uses another person, maybe a friend or family member, to convey their manipulative messages. Instead of directly confronting or belittling you, they'll have someone else to do their bidding. The psychological isolation it causes gives you the impression that you're up against more than just your partner, giving their manipulation huge power and leading you to believe that you must be in the wrong. 11. Playing the victim. This is when, instead of taking responsibility, the gaslighter paints themselves as the misunderstood or aggrieved party. They'll twist narratives so masterfully that even when they're clearly in the wrong, you might end up feeling like you owe them an apology. Think of it like watching a play, where the villain suddenly dons the hero's costume, seeking sympathy and support. It's a performance, designed to elicit pity and divert attention from their actions. Always keep perspective. Empathy is crucial, but don't let it blind you to the facts. Understand the situation, trust in your recall, and ensure accountability is placed where it truly belongs. 12. Frequent contradictions. Gaslighters often say one thing, and then later deny it or state the opposite, leaving you confused and unable to know where you stand. Occasional miscommunications happen, but if you notice a pattern of contradictions, be aware. Trust in your recall and don't be afraid to double check or seek clarity. 13. Overloading with information. This is when a gaslighter bombards you with a flurry of details, some true, some half-truths, and others pure fabrications. The objective? To overwhelm and confuse you so you can't differentiate fact from fiction. They create a smokescreen that prevents you from critically analysing and challenging their version of events. The mental exhaustion this causes strengthens their manipulative power over you. 14. Downplaying accomplishments. Instead of celebrating your achievements, a gaslighter might belittle them, making you feel like they're insignificant or unearned. Scored a promotion? Anyone could have done that. Ran a marathon? It was probably an easy route. It's like climbing a mountain, and upon reaching the summit, someone tells you it's just a tiny hill. Disheartening, isn't it? This tactic aims to dent your self-esteem, ensuring they remain in a position of power. Recognizing these hidden signs is your first step on your journey towards reclaiming control. If you want to learn more, watch our video on the 15 signs you're being manipulated. Or break the cycle by finding out exactly why it is that you attract toxic people to begin with. We hope this video provided some helpful insights. If it did, please give it a like, comment, and for more content like this, subscribe to our channel.